recently I was watching another YouTuber who uprooted her family a couple of times within the last 2 months. The most recent time she was staying at an Airbnb that didn't have a lot of amenities, and she wanted to cook white rice, but she didn't know how to do it without the rice cooker.
You're watching the Bear Pantry Show.
Honestly guys, I truly didn't judge her, because if you're not raised in a culture where rice is cooked all the time, you're gonna find it difficult to make rice, white or brown. Our son Joshua knows how to cook white rice really well in the rice cooker, but he cannot cook it on the stovetop to save his life. So I decided I'm not just gonna teach you how to make white rice, I'm gonna do a scientific study, because people in her chat, she was doing a live, and they kept telling her it's 1 cup of uncooked long grain white rice to 2 cups of water. And normally that's true, but honestly, it's not all the time. It depends on the pot that you use. So for the first one, we use this skillet, right? You can see. Oh, the lid doesn't go with, oh, I can't get the lid off. Anyways, I'll set it down and get the lid off. So you can see that it's a 10-inch wide skillet, and it's short that way, right? And then for the next one, we did this pot, which is almost a 2 quart. It's like 1.8 quarts. And then for the last one, we use this wok. And honestly, it's something more like this that she had at the Airbnb to use. And she's like, I don't know how to do it. I think she wanted to do like a couple cups, but we're only gonna do 1 cup, right? So I brought my husband Joe in on this because he's really great at cooking white rice. Any kind of rice, brown rice, Mexican rice, white rice, whatever. So I washed 1 cup of long grain white rice first, and I dumped it into this skillet right here. And then I poured 1 cup of water. I measured. Oh, by the way, let me show you measurement, okay? So if you're at an Airbnb and you don't have the measuring cup like this that comes with the rice cooker, then you can use a coffee cup, but a narrow one like this. This is an 11-ounce coffee cup, and it's closer to 1 1/4 cups than 1 cup. All right, so fill it to 3/4 of the way, and you'll have 1 cup of white rice if you don't have the measuring cup, right? So then use that same measuring cup, right, at that 3/4 of the way for your water. So right now we're using a measuring cup because we want to get it precise. So I poured 1, and then I dashed 2, and Joe freaked out and he said, it's too much water. I'm like, oh, well, it's already, you could pour some off if you think you put too much water and you didn't start cooking yet. But I wanted to try because honestly, I felt like it was too little water, because I have a measuring thing. I hate this summer because I'm always sweating over my mouth. The tip of my finger without long fingernails to this line is, you know, once the tip of your fingernail touch the top of the rice, the water should reach there. And I marked it on this wooden spoon years ago, and that's what I use as my little measuring stick, my guide, right? A lot of cultures do this, especially Filipinos. So I thought it wasn't enough water. He says it's more than enough. So we're gonna put it on very low fire. So the next one we did was the, what do you call it? The quart, the almost 2 quart pot. And I put 1 cup of the rice, and then I poured 1 cup of the water, and he's like, that's enough. You don't need another cup. So it's 1 to 1. Remember, the people were telling her in her chat that it was 1 to 2. For the wok, we did 1 cup of rice to 1 1/2 cups of water. So see, it's all different. And every time I measured, it wasn't coming close to that line, especially in that wide skillet, right? In the saucepan, it came closer to the line. So I wasn't nervous about that. So we let the rice go for 20 minutes covered. And honestly, I should have really kind of cracked this lid on the wok because it kind of boiled over on my stove. I know I have stuff to clean. I hate cleanup when it comes to cooking. But it's okay, it's just a little mess. And then we stirred it. You can start with a fork, but be careful if you're using non-stick stuff because you don't want to scrape the bottom, right? So Joe likes to do it with these chopsticks. Not the pointy part though, this end part, and just kind of move it around. And then we let it go 5 more minutes, covered, right? And it's still on low. And then I let it go 5 more minutes just because I felt like it needed 5 more minutes. So they went for a total of 30 minutes, all of them. And I have them set out here on the counter, and you guys can see which one is from which pot. Pot number 1, which is the skillet, the wide skillet. Pot number 2, which is the saucepan. And pot number 3, which is the wok. And now, because you and I know what's what, I'm going to invite Joe in to come and blind taste the rice to see which one was which. Come on, boo. Just a little nibble of each. I know what is what. You know, every time I need for Joe to taste test something, he's like, I'm fasting. Now, if you would fast and pray, like Crystal said, things would change. Taste this one. I'm not going to tell you which one it is. Just taste this one. You touched nothing. Okay, don't say. All right. You want to taste all three first before you try to figure out which pot it came from?
Might as well. I can't tell it what that tasted.
Okay. You want to guess that first one and see which pot it came from?
This one.
Which one?
This one.
Okay, you said it's pot number one?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so try this one. Thank you, boo. Let me pull that. Man, it's hot right now already, guys.
Not these small ones. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he said it in the correct sequence that I had it. Can you tell us, can you give us some insight as to why you knew?
Because
Take the first one first.
this one is a little bit softer. It's good.
Like it's sticky, right? It's more sticky.
Mm-hmm.
So you knew that that one had to be the one with the more water.
Right.
And you still think that I put too much water? That was fine. So 1 cup of the rice to 2 cups of water for the wide skillet. So that's fine. What about the little one? Did that need more water? Or?
That's perfect.
That was perfect. So we did 1 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was gonna pour more water and get it to that line. Okay, and the wok. What do you think about that? She had a wok that she was using.
This was the what?
Yeah.
It's good.
Man, you are so smart when it comes to this type of stuff. So they all came out fine. But the one with the more water came out more sticky. Now that's the kind of rice that I like, the kind that you would eat off a chopstick, even though I don't know how to eat off a chopstick. I like a stickier rice. Joe and Joshua tend to like a grainier rice. Not grainy meaning it's not cooked, but more like the rice grains are loose, see? Like this. Yeah, you can separate the rice grains. You guys see that? Now this one, the sticky one, see? Right? It's not too watery though. It's not like what Rachel Ray did that one time when she like rinsed the rice and cooked it a little bit and then she put it through a strainer and go, it's done. Joe, she didn't let the water boil out. I know Joe wasn't processing what I said. Yeah, so this is the scientific theory of white rice. It's not truly 1 cup of uncooked rice to 2 cups of water because it honestly depends on the pot that you're using. And you guys see that Joe used his judgment to know that we shouldn't put 2 cups of water in this little pot. It would become rice pudding.
You gotta watch. I mean, you gotta cover the rice. Mm-hmm. Once you cover the rice.
The water.
Right.
The water has to cover the rice.
Right.
And what? Say it again.
You don't want it to be too high. You just want it to be just enough to cover the rice.
So like if they were using my 1-inch method above the rice, sometimes it's not always to the 1 inch, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's sometimes a little bit lower. Mm-hmm. And Joe says it's always easier to add more liquid to the rice while it's cooking if you see that it's not coming along than to take water out.
One thing, folks, this is the better pot, this size pot to cook the 1 cup of rice. Mm-hmm. It's more easier in your food.
So a saucepan.
Right.
A saucepan,
right.
Yeah. So even if it was a bigger saucepan, it would still be better than to use that wok or that skillet.
You could judge more.
But the girl didn't have no other options, Joe.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to do this to show, how it works out. So what I'm going to be doing, guys, in the next few videos, I'm going to be making things that you would be able to make if you're staying at an Airbnb on vacation, right? I know sometimes you go to an Airbnb and you can drive there, so you can take certain things from your kitchen, right? Like I'm talking ingredients, but most of the time people fly to where they're going and they want to go to the store and pick up a few groceries and have things for breakfast because you don't want to eat every meal out. You know what I mean? When you're on vacation, because you're going to get sick. Well, maybe you do, but I don't. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to the store for the next video and I'm going to pick up the few items I think you're going to need to have to make breakfast stuff, right? For right now, this is white rice. If you're away from home and you don't have your appliances and your rice cooker and your utensils and all that stuff, grab a pot from the little cabinet that they left you. Man, this Airbnb is ghetto where this girl is staying in Hawaii of all places because they have literally 3 dinner plates and like 2 pots. So she went to the store and she just bought biscuit and eggs and that's what they've been eating. Oh, child. Joe, how would you manage if there's 3 plates and there's more than 3 people staying at the Airbnb and you don't want to have to take turns in eating the meal? How would you do it? Like Joe Greenwich. How would you do it?
You got silver foil?
That was my first thing.
Yeah.
I was like, use foil, girl.
You got paper? You got
What kind of paper?
Plastic bag?
Eat out of the lid of a pot, right? The lid of a pot. Yeah, I want to explore this.
I'll put the food on the counter.
Just put it right on the counter. Clean the counter.
You can put it on the counter.
Joy and plain. Plain. All right, guys, come back and tell me your little theories about cooking white rice or even brown rice, because brown rice you need more water, right? Brown rice you need more water. And when doing Spanish rice and you're putting tomato sauce in Spanish rice, you need less water, a lot less. There's something about that tomato sauce that makes it more moist, right, Joe? Child, there's a lot to making rice. Stick around right here at the Bear Pantry Show because we're going to be delving into these, what do you call it? Bear Pantry things. Bear Pantry things.
This is the Bear Pantry Show.
So now, folks, I got to break my fast. I got to break my fast at 16 hours. I was going to be at 21, but it's too late.
I love you.
Yeah.
Huh?
Too late.
I love you. Huh?
And don't mind, I'm not hungry, okay? I get up this morning, drink me a cup of black coffee, and that was good.
Well, I'm fasting too. I didn't drink no coffee. I haven't eaten anything.
So you don't taste it?
A little bit that you did. No, I'm not gonna set you up like that. I taste the same little bit that you did from the pot.
All right.
Remember, you taped me. You taped me tasting it off the fork.
Okay,
yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna set him up like that. But thank you, boo. You're such a good sport.
Try to set me up. No, folks, I'm doing it because I want to help my sinuses and all of that to mess me up.
Get rid of allergies.
Right.